you invested into trucks at the very beginning of that company called what was the name? Get Around, right? Is it
It's a
Get Around?
Drivey, and they've been bought by Get Around after.
Yeah, so it was called Drivey in Europe, in
Mm-hmm.
France mainly, and then it was acquired by Get Around, which is a German company, isn't it?
No, I
Is it?
think it's not American. I don't know.
Probably, yeah, probably. So
I'm
they
not sure.
acquired Drivey, and the idea is like they were having like free floating kind of cars in a city that you can like
Mm-hmm.
open through an iOS app, mobile apps, and then you'll be able to drive these cars mainly for instead of going into a rental company, which is like way more convenient to find a car on the street, and then you can drive it. And then when you're finished, like you park the car somewhere on the street, and then you're done.
Mm-hmm.
And what you did is like you bought two trucks, if I remember properly, that's for the purpose of moving people out of their flats so they can use to move out during a day. And then you started like that, and you started posting content about that, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, it was. I mean, it was one of the things I was doing at this time about personal finance. I've always been interested about this universe of economics, investing, and how to make money doing side projects and stuff like that. But this one was, I think this one was the one people were most curious about because, I mean, it's not every day that you hear somebody buying two old trucks from a French post office to rent them on Get Around. So yeah, people were really curious about that, and I guess that's why this LinkedIn post worked so well because people are like, okay, you can do that. That's interesting. And also, I was like, yeah, how I invested in Monet painting. So these two things like created a lot of discussion around this launch.
You were eating your own dog food
Yeah,
at some
yeah,
stage, like you try things and then you write post about that.
yeah,
That's super
exactly.
organic, actually. Like,
Yeah, and I mean that's the best. I mean, earlier you were saying that you don't know the topics people are interested about, but I guess the main filter is if you are interested in this topic, you will find like hundreds or thousands of people interested in this topic. So, I mean, you don't have to fake it. You have to be genuinely interested in the topic, and if you talk about it, people will come. I mean, if you talk in a I mean, if you have to, I mean, you don't have to do it extremely well, but you have to
it's consistent.
communicate a good level of information and interesting information that you can't really find anywhere easily. Because today I mean, content is a commodity. I mean, you can find hundreds of blogs about personal finance. So what you're talking about and how you talk about it, I mean, it's pretty important to be differentiated from the others. So
Yeah, because if you experience what you're talking about, then it makes you. That was kind of one of my questions is like, you're not from like any financial degrees or whatever. Like, so your social like proof kind of is not around finance, is not around all these things. So coming up into that quite technical subject and then decide that you're going to write a newsletter about it and then become probably the biggest newsletter in France about personal finance is kind of a nice thing. And I guess that a part of the equation is based on the fact that you were trying things that people weren't used to it, like buying tracks and try to like
mhm.
hunt them online. So you see if it's good or not, like if it's break even or not even, and then writing things in a way that no one has ever created this kind of content, which is
Mhm.
also in terms of personal finance, a content that like is interesting to a mass majority of people, because every time you talk about finance, then you have the impression that finance is something for the elite, not for everyone. But I guess that the amount of money you invested into these 2 trucks, you mentioned you bought them from post office, meaning that I probably understood that you bought them from auction, right? Like when they were
Yeah,
the
no,
end of their...
it was not auction. Yeah. It was like somebody specialized in buying a lot of old truck from the French post office and selling them on Le Bon Coin, like Craigslist in France.
list, yeah. So yeah,
So it was
that's
pretty
crazy.
cheap.
So
It was
yeah,
like
you bought them
40,
from...
yeah, 14K, the 2 of them. So like basically nothing.
Okay, but still, I mean, it's bold, like to spend 14K in shitty cars that you don't even like. You don't like.
And the
Did you
fun,
do like a business plan before or something like that?
no, but the fun thing about it is like, the fun thing
Sorry.
about it is like one day I receive an email from my bank saying, "Hey, we've got like a 0.85 loan offer up until 20K." So I was like, okay, that's basically free money. So what could I do with this money? And I was like, oh yeah, I've got this friend. He's renting his truck on Get Around. So maybe I could just buy like 2 trucks. I mean, borrow the money from the bank and buy 2 trucks. And then and I was like on my Google sheet and doing some like pretty shitty math and trying to do like a quick business plan. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty easy to see that the risk was not very big. I mean, even if one truck breaks down, it's okay. So
And was it
pretty safe bet.
and then was it a good bet?
Yeah, it was a very good bet, especially at this time because there wasn't a lot of people renting um, trucks in Paris. Nowadays, it's more professional, so you can find people with like 20 or 40 trucks. But at the beginning, it was pretty amateur stuff. So yeah, it was, I don't know, like, it was maybe from 500 to 1,000 euros cash flow, something like that. I mean, it's I mean, it's good money on
Yeah,
the side.